Where are you going, brother?
Sleep.
So we're just keeping blindly on then, hoping we don't walk headlong into Ragnarok. Is that your plan?
Hello, this is going to be our review on God of War Ragnarok from Tyr and Thrud. I will start first. I personally loved this game. We made a review a little bit on God of War 2018, technically the fourth one in the mainline franchise. I loved Ragnarok. I'm actually okay with it not being a trilogy. I think it being a duology worked out very well with the story they were trying to tell. We will talk about spoilers going forward, just so if anybody clicks on this and hasn't finished the game, I highly recommend you do so. I actually loved it. I think it was a great advancement of the 2018 one. I think they're both neck and neck, honestly. Like, if one was a 10, this one's a 9 or an 11. Like, they're very, very close overall. I think the Nordic story as a whole was really, really good. There's some really cool moments in this one, too, that they kind of set up in the 2018 one, which I think are delivered very well.
Yeah, I agree with you. I liked everything about this one, actually. I liked the relationship development between Atreus and Kratos.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like this one was a lot more lively.
Well, it's because of Kratos' growth.
In the world itself. Yeah, it expressed a lot of the growth in the world around him. I thought it was really cool with the wolves that we saw. There was a bunch of wolves that we saw, actually.
A lot of animals in this game.
Which I loved. The two that I thought was really cool that you actually got to use continuously through the game was the wolves that chase the sun and the moon, which you heard about in the beginning of the game. And I thought that was really fun, and you got to see like the world change with that and the day and everything. And then Fenrir.
Yes, Fenrir.
Fenrir was so Cool.
Well, what they do with him at the beginning, setting up the soul going to the knife, and then you fight Garm, and then you learn that he can put the soul into Garm, and now he can just hop dimensions. I thought it was actually great. I thought it was really cool. And I like the banter between Kratos, very confused, being like, sit, go home. Okay.
Yeah. And I thought it was really funny with the commentary of him being like, good boys. And then Freya being like, they're girls. I liked that a lot. I thought that was funny. I liked the dwarfs commentary again.
Brock and Sindri.
I am heartbroken by Brock's death and destroyed at Sindri's relationship, the distance between Atreus and Kratos, because he felt betrayed and he feels like he's lost everything, which I thought was really sad, but really great character development for the side characters. And I loved where they took each character, and I loved what happened with Freya and realizing that Kratos wasn't the enemy. It was Odin. And,
yeah, a common enemy.
Yeah. And coming back to the terms of what was happening before.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love Freya's character development. I think her arc's actually very beautiful. I also like... I did fight the last Valkyrie, Gina, I believe was her name, and I actually do like when you defeat her, is Kratos doesn't kill her, he kind of puts her in a stranglehold, and she has a moment to talk with Freya, and Freya is the one that ultimately ends up killing her when Gina asks her to, because she doesn't want to hear about her cowardice and what happened during the Realms and the Allfather. So that was actually a really cool touch, and it almost feels like you have a Freya backstory throughout God of War, and kind of her development is happening at the same time as Kratos' story, and it's kind of cool to watch them parallel each other.
Yeah.
I do think it's cool in this game how you can switch off, so you're not just Kratos, you can play as Atreus at parts as well. I think those parts are a lot of fun. I got the Ironwood chapter 5, we switched off alternatively on chapters, so she actually didn't get to play in Ironwood. I liked it. Angerboda, I think, was a dope-ass support. I think having like Atreus and Thor was really cool. There was just cool seeing situations where you could have two people that weren't just Atreus and Kratos, and you're just mainlining Kratos, which is fine. I love playing as him, and so does she. But it was just cool to kind of mix them and made the world feel bigger, more or less. So I think that was all great. I love everything with Jotunheim. One big character I love, which we kind of get his story arc now, which a lot of people are theorizing, is Jormungandr. So when Atreus is in Ironwood, he puts the soul of a giant that has a feud with Thor into the serpent, and then when the serpent gets bigger at Ragnarok, that's why he's attacking Thor, is because they already had a feud before, and then he gets sent back in time, and that's the serpent we see in 2018, Jormungandr. So I loved everything about that. I had no issues. Jotunheim is my favorite realm, actually. It's just so majestic and rare every time you go there. The story's usually progressing in a very positive manner, and it's very intriguing, and you want to know what's going on. So I would love a spinoff, honestly, with Angerboda and Atreus with the marbles at the end where he leaves, and you have that really touching moment of where Kratos says, like, Atreus will stay, but Loki will go. And I think that was very, very well done. I think there's a lot of great heartfelt scenes, especially with Kratos, because we still haven't played the Greek trilogy yet. We want to, though. But it's just interesting seeing Kratos finally open up, where he's usually just a rage monster, and it's really cool seeing him open up to someone, show compassion, showing caring. It's really well done. So I think all of that was great. I think the ending is great with the portrait scene. He's a rebuilder. You finally see him cry, not a destroyer for the Nordic realms. And even if they don't make another one, I assume they will, because of how much popularity there is here and how much money is made off this game, is it ends the Nordic saga perfectly, in my opinion, with the mural, the hidden mural that Faye put there, which I love her theme, by the way. But
it's beautiful.
I think it's really cool how it ends the Nordic saga, but also all 5 games. Like, if they were just to do the 3 Greek games they have and the 2 Nordic ones with the Nordic ending, it ties everything together, in my opinion, beautifully, where there's not much left to be answered. It'd be awesome to have an Egypt-era game, which they talked about before the Nordic one was chosen. That would be amazing. I'd love to see Anubis and stuff like that. But if they don't, I think it ends the series, honestly, perfectly with the 5 games. So, and then going back to what she said earlier with Brock and Sindri, I love both their character developments, but that tear fake out that they do, I thought was actually really fucking cool. I think that's a good game move to do because it makes other subtle things line up where it's not just a coincidence, so to speak. And I thought that was really cool where Odin was playing Tyr the whole time.
Which I kind of called it. I didn't say that Odin was pretending to be Tyr, but I was talking to Cody about how this doesn't seem like the Tyr that we've heard about, and there's something off about him. And I wasn't quite sure, and I was saying maybe, like, Odin's, like, controlling him, like, kind of like a puppet, So it was cool that I was kind of on the right track with that.
Yeah. No, yeah, so the tier fake out was really cool. Brock and Sindri was cool. I think that's like the main beats I loved. My favorite scene in both God of War games now, because I'll put it in this video as well, is when you have like the old man Logan vibe going with Kratos, resets the mirror down, throws the blades down, kind of has like his weary moment. That's still my favorite scene in both games, followed by either the Blades of Chaos in 2018 or the mural at the end of this one. Those are my top 3 favorite scenes. What would you say is your favorite scene in the game?
I don't know. That's so hard because there were so many memorable moments that happened in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of my favorite scenes was the hug, like the affection between Atreus and Kratos at the end.
Okay.
That was one of them. I cried when I had to fight Garm. Yeah.
Yeah, she thought that she killed him and she was bawling like a baby.
I wasn't bawling like a baby, but I cried a little bit. I teared up. And so I liked when Fenrir was able to come back. That was probably one of my favorite scenes too, but
yeah.
Not really like the visual aspect of like the worlds and the growth. It was just like the little moments kind of made it for me.
I didn't mind Fimbulwinter. I get why obviously it happens in the lore of Nordic mythology. I do like though. I think the landscape in 2018 Midgard more compared to the Fimbulwinter. I didn't mind the Fimbulwinter. I just like the more like radiant colors. I will say though, Vanaheim. So Vanaheim's a realm you can visit in this game because we 100%ed all the realms. Obviously, Vanaheim's new to this game. It's Freya's like home. Biggest realm I've seen. A. B. There's a whole other side quest mission called the Crater, which opens up basically like the other 50% of the realm, which is crazy in of itself. Which you find out, Faye froze lightning when she fought Thor, just like when you fought Thor as Kratos, it froze at the beginning of the game, and she's the one that had Vanaheim and got all that exposure.
It was fun. There was a lot of really cool animals that you got to see. The dragons were fun. Some of those were dumb, like when fighting them, if you're hitting them and then they get to come back down and be able to still swoop you up, that was stupid.
Favorite moment, actually, when she fought a dragon, is the dragon like swoops down and usually gets her. She's like, this is super stupid. She was raging out. And then, like, she backed up, and the dragon just hopped towards her and caught her anyway. That was hilarious.
Literally jumped like a Yeah, Vanaheim was a lot. It was fun to be able to explore, though, so I didn't mind how much there was. The one thing that I thought was kind of creepy, but also really cool, because I kind of liked the creepy vibe of it, was the Raven Tree.
That was very creepy. I wish the Raven Keeper, when you get to her, was a different sprite or something more unique than just like a normal witch that just disappears and comes back. But I thought it was like a very creepy vibe and cool overall. I also like how you found out that Odin can impersonate people if they're alive, and he had multiple people in his prison. So it kind of leads the question is, was he more than just here during the adventure? And so I think it's kind of just a cool thing to like look back if you were to play it a second time and kind of maybe look out for those things.
Yeah, no, that's cool to think about too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of wish that the Raven Keeper was a little bit different than just with the normal witch, but I had a fighter, so I didn't mind that it was such an easy battle, but I was expecting something different.
Yeah. And then one thing as well on my side is I mostly beat the Valkyries in 2018. She fought like 1 or 2. In this game, the opposite of Valkyries are the Berserkers, and if you were to give a ranking, I think they're very similar in strength. I wouldn't say they're crazy hard. And then I beat Gina, the Valkyrie Queen, the only one in the game you can fight. But I do like leading up to Ragnarok, bouncing around here a sec, is that you get to meet Sigrun, because I actually liked her character development. Learning about her and Mimir's past was kind of cool in the love aspect. But I like you get to meet the Valkyries leading up to Ragnarok. It was a really cool like additional piece they added as part of the main story in the 2018 game. But I beat Gina. She was hard. I'd probably say the hardest person I fought in the game would probably go to her, and then I'd say the Zealous Berserker, and then the King. Those are the top 3 that I had to play against. Her biggest opponent I think she had the problem with was the Trifecta Berserker battle, where you had to fight 3 at once.
It was a very tedious battle, and it was hard because if you attacked, so there's 2 sisters, and then there's like what looks to be like a general that kind of takes the role. If you attack the sisters, the general goes crazy and will just constantly hit you, and you don't have a chance or the ability to be able to get out of a situation, so it just kills you right after you get out of rage or in the middle of an attack, and it's just very frustrating. Or vice versa, if you go for the general, the sisters go crazy and it's just like constant projectiles being thrown at you. So it was a little annoying. It was probably one of my harder ones, but that's fine.
Yeah. But that's mainly everything. We platinumed this game just like we platinumed 2018, our only 2 platinums. We have our 2 platinum run videos. We appreciate you guys for watching. This is a hoodie I normally wear, and it kind of looks like an Asgardian hoodie a little bit with the dragons and like the background, because they all have that aura effect in Asgard, which is kind of cool. But yeah, that was pretty much everything. I really appreciate you guys for watching. I hope you liked the video, and I hope you liked our thoughts.
Thanks.
Bye.
I promise.
Loki will go. Atreus. Atreus remains.
Take care of everyone.